Back to Paths of Glory. I managed to finish the first turn, and here's the situation after the beginning of the first turn. Well, after my first turn. Down in the Balkans, absolutely nothing happened. This is one of the problems with the game. I feel like backwaters are going to be ignored. Maybe I'm wrong, but areas where there's not a lot to gain, it's not worth expending a lot of effort on. So the troops just tend to sit there. I don't think that's necessarily a historical situation. Over on the East Front, I would say overall it's been a German or a Central Powers advantage. The Russians made some attacks against the Austrians and didn't gain any traction at all. They did a little bit of the Tannenberg maneuver, and the Germans smacked them for it, obviously. But it seemed worthwhile to threaten that 8th Army. I don't know. It definitely took some pressure off the French front, which looks really, really ugly for the Entente. When Race for the Sea was played, the Belgians had to pull back a little bit to make sure that they stayed in supply. But overall, yeah, it looks to me like the Germans made significant advances against the French. I'm still trying to get a real feel for the how, and the why I'm doing things. But obviously, those northern victory points look important to me. So they look like they're at high risk right now. We'll see what happens. One thing I had as a thought about point-to-point movement, and the designer comes up with a good reason why, from an ease on his side, he produced it. But it's difficult for the player, or at least this player, to be able to see the connections as well. So sometimes there's connections that aren't obvious by map positioning. Sometimes there's holes that appear, for example, right here north of Verdun. It's hard to tell from a distance that the Germans actually have a solid line there to me. Minor gripe maybe. When you're focused in on the game, you definitely can see them. But when I step away from a game of La Grande Guerre or World War I, or just about even area games, I can have a pretty good idea of what the line actually consists of. Here, I feel like I have to look at a little bit too much to get that broad overview. But I'm enjoying so far. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I kind of enjoyed Twilight Struggle too. I just don't know if the whole system works well for me. All right.